Hello YouTube.
Bonjour.
How are you today? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I'm just gonna start this video but letting you know this is a kind of a new format I'm gonna do in the channel, which is gonna be literally coffee talks. I don't have my coffee, I forgot my coffee. Okay, it's gonna be a non-edited or very barely edited video. And I just want to share with you some subjects. So this is very unprepared. I'm just sitting down and filming it. So I hope you guys enjoy it and I hope it's easy to follow without the editing. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Natalia. And in this channel, I share with you a bit of everything, a bit of my fitness journey, a bit of my work. I'm an actress and a model, so I share a bit of that. And I share a bit of everything I'm learning and I'm doing at the moment. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you 3 tips to learn a language faster.
I sleep with the beasts. You woke me down in the streets. You pull my leash and there I come.
I'm going to share with you are coming from my experience as a student and also as a teacher. I also teach languages. I speak French, Spanish, English, and I'm currently and I've been learning Mandarin for a while. I'm not there yet, but I do have some experience learning languages and teaching languages. So I'm going to share with you 3 tips that I find very valuable to speed up the process. So my tip number 1 is change the language of your phone and your computer. I know this seems like very annoying because at the beginning when you're not very comfortable with the language, it's gonna be a bit problematic to do just the basic things. But this is something that I did to learn French, and I did it very early on actually when I was just learning the conjugation and the verbs. So I didn't know how to use settings in French and all these things. And I have to admit it was a bit annoying at the beginning. But with time, I ended up completely memorizing all the things I actually needed from the phone in French, because I had to Google them in order to connect my phone to Wi-Fi, in order to do all the basic things. And this is actually vocabulary that you're gonna use in your day-to-day life in the language you're learning. So it's really valuable. Also, simply getting used to seeing the language all the time in your phone. Your brain's gonna be pronouncing the words in your head every time you read them, and it's gonna be very easy, and it's not gonna consume extra time of your day as doing a vocabulary lesson would. My tip number 2 to learn a language faster is get obsessed over a singer, over a group, over a band that speaks the language that you're learning. This has been one of the most important things in my experience learning languages, simply because when there's someone or a band or a type of music that I'm actually really into, I'm gonna be super annoying trying to read the lyrics, trying to understand the lyrics, trying to see what it means. And this is something that is not gonna feel like extra work because it's someone that you actually want to understand, because it's content that you actually want to consume. This, I did it mostly with music, but then something that absolutely helps a lot too is doing it with YouTube channels, with people even on Instagram that you follow that speak that language. When you're interested in someone and what they have to say, you're gonna go the extra mile to try to understand everything they say. With song lyrics, this is really useful because you can print the lyrics and actually simply find all the words you don't know. And this is vocabulary that I swear to you will stay in your brain forever. I don't know if you're like me, but most people and my students have had similar experience. When you learn a song, it's much easier to remember the words than when you're trying to memorize vocabulary like that. It's just like that, our brains work like that. We're wired to kind of focus more on the things that we enjoy. So actually find something or someone to get obsessed about and try to understand all their content. This is gonna help you tremendously. I'm gonna give you a quick example of my learning English when I was a kid. There's a teacher that used to always show us music and songs and everything. And there's this expression, sort of expression, that I learned from one of those songs. And it's a song from Bruno Mars that says, black and blue, beat me till I'm numb. And she explained to us, making ourselves question the lyrics and everything, how this meant that when you have black and blue on your skin, it's when you've had a trauma in the skin, and that this would mean that you have pain or that you've been through an abusive situation. And for some reason, as dramatic as it is, I've remembered this for the rest of my life since I'm 6, simply because it wasn't a song that I liked. And I have so many other examples. I'm not gonna make this video super long, but I promise you that this is vocabulary. If you like the singer, if you like the band, if you like what you're watching, is a vocabulary that will stick to your brain. If you've done that already with any language, don't hesitate to let me know in comments what singer it was, what song it was, and what did you learn that for some reason you realize it's stuck in your brain. I would love to know. And while you're there, please don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel if you want to see my next videos. Okay, and without further ado, my tip number 3 to learn a language faster. It's gonna sound a bit crazy, and what I do so that my students don't feel crazy is that I make it as homework. I make them do oral recordings of certain subjects. This is something that I did by myself when I was learning French, and it really helped. It's gonna sound like a really crazy thing, but imagining conversations and recording them, or imagining that you're being interviewed on a certain subject and simply recording a voice note speaking about politics, for example, or about something that's triggering you right now. If you just saw this documentary over the pollution in the sea and you kind of have a lot of ideas and a lot of things that you could express about the subject, get your phone, start recording, and start speaking about it like you were someone who was being interviewed on the subject. Again, I know this sounds like you have mental problems, but just doing this exercise will make you realize that in your own way of speaking and in your own way of analyzing things, you have certain structures and certain words that you're gonna need as connectors or as introductions or to change subjects that you might not know in the language, and it's gonna make you look them up. So it's gonna make you understand what tools you need in the language you're gonna use to actually express yourself. We all speak differently, we all have different connectors, and we all have a different way of reasoning and a different way to organizing our ideas. So it's really useful that you know your own tools, your own connectors. When you do this the first time, especially if you're kind of a starter in the language, so if you're around B1, maybe B2, it's gonna be a bit uncomfortable because you're gonna realize that actually you're blocked very often, you know? So you're gonna be like, yeah, and then the, comment on dit ça? And then you're gonna bring up with another word, you know? When you have this blockage, afterwards, when you're gonna listen to this, you're gonna try to find the words by yourself, you're gonna try to find it in articles, and then it's gonna be really, really interesting because when you're reading an article in English, for example, if you're trying to learn English, and you see this word that it's actually a connector that 3 days ago you could have used in the subject you were speaking about, your brain's gonna remember it. You're gonna remember it simply because you know it's a tool that's gonna help you not be blocked next time you speak. I do this with my students, and of course I'm the one listening and reviewing their audios, and then we speak about what words and what ways of speaking they could have used to express or to make their point come across better. So I think even if you do it by yourself, it's really, really helpful. And once you get past the point of the awkwardness of speaking by yourself and of listening to your own mistakes and your own accent, it's actually really useful. Those are 3 tips that are really useful to learn a new language. Right now I do not have more space for students. I only take a few online students that I can fit around my schedule, but I'm still going to give you my teaching email and put it in the description. And maybe in the future, if you're interested in having either French, Spanish or English lessons, you can pop up and send me an email, and maybe we can schedule if I have a slot in a few months or if I can make some time at some point. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for listening until here. Let me know if it's useful to you. Let me know what other tips you would share for someone to speed up their process in learning a language. And I'll see you on my next video. Have an amazing day. Mwah.